A drug dealer, Moti, keeps some drugs on a mountain on the advice of an older man. Later, he takes someone, Master Sun, who wants to buy that drug to where he kept it. On the other hand, a police group headed by Captain Wang is searching for Moti, and they are walking along the same forest with Old Lin, the oldest forest keeper. As they walk around, Moti keeps reassuring Master Sun that they will get there soon, while the police group sends their representative, Lazi, to find the drug dealer. As Moti continues his journey, he gets a call and finds out Master Sun works for the police as an undercover agent. He kicks Sun and kicks him out. When Wang gets to know, he sends Lazi to save Sun, and with the help of Old Lin, they find the last place where the drug dealer is found. However, they couldn't find Moti, and right after that place was a river. They ask Old Lin if they can enter that river, but Old Lin says it's impossible. And every year they find dead bodies around the river. Wang insists that's their mission, and they must go there, so he takes his team along. After swimming through the river, they find a mountain. Lazi stays by their front and leads them. With his robotic eyes, he finds a door by the edge of the mountain and opens it. As he enters, they see Sun and Moti running out. They tell them that there is a monster in that part of the mountain. And just as they have said, a monster comes to attack the team. Lazi shoots it down. But the balls which roll out of the monster create another set of monsters, and the team is overwhelmed. Suddenly they hear Old Lin's voice. Moti confesses that it's Old Lin who advised him to put the drugs there, and Old Lin says he only did it so he could punish the drug dealers, and that's why he doesn't want the police to enter. He says he closed the door, but they opened it. He changes to his real devilish form and insists that since they have seen his real self, then they have to die. He calls monsters on them, then he notices Lazi's dagger. He asks Lazi if he is part of Wu Mian's men, but Lazi says he doesn't know Wu Mian. He, however, tells Lazi that even if he knows Wu Mian, he will die that day. He orders another attack on them, and suddenly a creature appears from the sky. Wu Mian tells Lin he has no right to mention his name, and he wonders how he has remained alive despite being so old. Wu Mian looks at Lin and asks Lin if Lin thinks he can escape. In defense, Lin says he only took a pill from him, and it wasn't worth looking for him for over 1,000 years. He tells Wu Mian he's sorry, but Wu Mian says he doesn't forgive. Wu Mian prepares to kill him, but Old Lin tells Wu Mian that he isn't the only one who uses the pills, and if Wu Mian promises not to kill him, then he will reveal the second person that took the pills. Wu Mian promises not to kill him. He says he gave part of it to his cousin, Yang Xiao, and the reason he did so because he wanted to know if the pill was poisoned so he could confirm it. Wu Mian remembers his promise not to kill Lin, but says another person could kill Lin. Lin doesn't want to die, so he holds Lazi hostage. He takes Lazi's sword and puts it by his neck. He says he knows the sword belongs to Wu Mian, and even if Wu Mian wants to deny Lazi, it is impossible. Wu Mian reminds him that the sword is his, and he can use it, so he takes the knife away and gives Lazi a gun to kill Lin. After 3 days later, Lazi has a dream. In the dream, he remembers when he saw the dagger, and his uncles told him it was left by a stranger. Lazi wakes up in a room with Sun. Sun tells him their captain, Wang, has left them at that place, and Lazi has been sleeping since 3 days ago. They hear the footstep of a person, and Lazi goes to the door holding the dagger, but the lady hits him and takes the dagger. The lady, Bai Lu, tells him that he is a coward. Later, another man comes in, Director Hao. He tells them that they were brought there to heal. Sun asks them if they can leave immediately, and Bai Lu tells them that they can't leave and that they are at Min Diao Bureau. He takes them to the headquarters and they meet their boss, Gao Liang. After the welcoming meal, Lazi says he doesn't want to work there, and Gao Liang allows them to leave. However, Sun tells him there is no car to take them, and they also see the pay of the company. The pay is a lot, so they decide to stay. They are taken to the big office where they meet a person who puts the company's bracelet on them, and Bai Lu tells them their 3 months of training have started, and she's their trainee. Gao meets with Wu Mian. He shows him the portrait of the monsters that defeated some of their members, and he says it's from the Dalu Kingdom. However, upon having a closer look, Wu Mian says it's the Guzi Kingdom. When Gao looks at it more, he sees there is a slight difference between the two shapes. However, he says he only knew the kingdom of Guzi as folktale. He never knew it actually existed. However, Wu Mian tells him it exists and it's real. Bai Lu takes Sun and Lazi to all the rooms in the office. They are in room 5, and their room focuses on collection and equipment support. Gao tells the members of Room 1, which is headed by Hao, and Room 2, headed by Shi, that they will both be taking a mission together. The two rooms are known not to align, and they hate each other. Hao wonders why he's given the same responsibility as Shi's group. Sun and Lazi are also asked to fill them out for the task. They all go for the briefing, where they are told that they are going to a desert. The desert has swallowed two different sets of people, and they are to rescue them. As they reach, Shi declares that they will enter the place the following morning, although Bai Lu is of the opinion that they haven't prepared. When they sleep in their tent that evening, Lazi hears a step. He leaves the tent and goes towards the desert. There he sees a white goat. He looks at it, and Sun comes to tap him. Sun wonders why he left the bed, and when he tries to show Sun what he has seen, he realizes Sun can't see it. Sun mistakenly steps on the sand that falls into an abandoned mountain, and when Lazi attempts to find him, he falls too. Lazi wakes Sun up, and he realizes the whole mountain is full of sand, and they can't climb up. He sees a creature on Sun's head. He asks Sun to calm down so he can kill it, but Sun asks him not to shoot. The creature jumps at him, and he keeps chasing the creature. Meanwhile, Sun can't see all he is seeing. The creature takes his gun and leaves it to shoot by itself. Bai Lu arrives. She tells them she has been assigned to ensure that they don't run away, and she has come to find them. She wonders why the gun is shooting by itself, and they notice another part of the mountain. Upon getting there, they see some stones. Bai Lu recognizes them as Shi Xing and tells them it's a marriage gift to the Guzi people. She tells them the people of Guzi were so immoral that they send kids to die with their late king. As a result, they offended the gods who sent sand to wash away the city. So it seems like they are in the washed away city. She tells him their mission won't be an easy one. She tells them they should use their time being stuck there to gather information. She looks at the blocks and videos them with her bracelet, and then asks them also to try to gather information with her. They do as she has commanded. But she notices something is wrong in that building. She tells them to stop, but soon touches one of the bricks, so they fall on them. Meanwhile, in the tent, Hao realizes that Lazi and Sun are missing. Just as he wonders where they are, he gets to know that Bai Lu is missing too. He calls his team to find them. Luckily for them, the brick stops at a point, and they push it off. They fall into another room, where they find a casket. To their surprise, the casket is buried with bronze. Bai Lu explains to them that in those days a person was only buried in such a cruel manner with swords and weapons if the person is buried by his enemy. They assume that the burial ground belongs to King Baiji, who was the king of Guzi in those days, and they wonder who could bury the king in such a cruel way. They cannot open the casket with bare hands, and Lazi gives him his sword. They use it to cut through the casket, but when Bai Lu sees the corpse, she tells them it's not King Baiji, and the corpse looks like a Zhang Yuan. As they wonder who is buried there, the creature Lazi has been seeing drag Sun into another hole. Lazi and Bai Lu follow Sun into that hole, and Bai Lu sees some pictorial stories. She tells them that when a notable person died in those days, they paint pictures that show his story. And the picture there shows that King Baiji had a daughter he loved so much. The daughter fell in love with a Zhang Yuan, and the king refuses to join them together. Later, he decided to make his daughter happy, so he joins them. Sometime later, his daughter died from Zhang Yuan's sword. The Zhang Yuan brings his team to the country, and the country is overwhelmed with battles. Trying to win the fight, the king requests for God's help, and he offers to die with the enemies. While looking at the picture, Lazi's eyes close, and he falls into an illusion where the king appears to him. He attempts them, including Bai Lu and Sun, and kills Bai Lu and Sun. Lazi struggles with the king as the king asks him to give him his daughter. In the real world, Mu appears. He tells the others to prepare for Lazi's funeral because if he loses in the illusion and dies, he will die in real life. And the only way for him to escape the illusion is for another person to join him there. At the illusion, Lazi switches off a lantern, and he wakes up in the real world. Wu looks at him and says he looks weak, but if he didn't survive the illusion, he would have died. Bai Lu also helps him with his injuries, commenting that it's not his day of death. They start thinking of the way out of the mountain, and Lazi tells them about a route he has seen from his illusion. As they open the door, they see several stairs. They find out only one of the stairs is real, and the others aren't, and they may die. Wu asks Sun to pick the stairs they should climb. Sun reluctantly does so, and as they climb one, the other stairs break down. They get to another part of the illusion, which Bai Lu says it's the Yeming Zhu. That part is filled with water, and they see Hao inside of it. Hao tells them he entered because he saw Shi drowning. And after saving Shi attacks him. The others assume Shi may be a fragment of the illusion, and Hao should kill him. But Hao says every other thing in that illusion is cold, but Shi is hot. Losing his patience, Wu calls for the creature to come out. He finds out the creature is scared of fire, and he defeats him. Upon coming back to the actual world, they return on flight to their company. Lazi finds out Sun has taken something from the mountain, and they plan to share it. But Wu says they must give him his share, and Lazi should deliver it himself. Bailu also says she wants hers. After their successful operation, they all sit to drink and be merry. While they drink, Sun tells them that he feels cold, and he assumes it's probably from the cave. As they continue to make merry, Owan Yang, the one in charge of the bracelet and the care service, arrives. He arrives angrily, and he's mad at Hao for not inviting him for the drink and brings several more drinks for them. By the time they finish with the drinks, Sun is blue, just like the corpse in the cave. Lazi is about to take him to the infirmary, but Bailu sees them on the way and tells him to rather take him to Ouyang's office. As they get to Ouyang tells Bailu to take Sun to the room. After Sun is healed, he returns to his normal color. On the other hand, Director Shi isn't in support of Lazi and Sun's employment. He says that if their boss doesn't do anything, he will intervene. So, as Sun walks out with Lazi, and they talk about Lazi, Sun tells Lazi that he thinks he is related to Wu. Lazi says he only collected his sword from his uncle, and he doesn't have a direct affiliation with Wu. Suddenly, Shi and his people come to arrest Lazi and Sun. Bailu runs to Director Gao, Wu, and Hao, and reports what Shi has done. They go to Shi and insist that Shi release them. Bailu takes Lazi and Sun shopping. As they shop, she tells them that they have to prepare for their last examination, as the examination is going to be set by Shi. On the day of their final examination, they are taken to a house, and they are asked to arrest a man, Lin Fenghua. With the joint work of both of them, they eventually arrest Lin Fenghua. After succeeding in their examination, Shi asks Lazi to wait to clear the house. As Lazi enters, Shi and his men raise their guns at him. He tells Lazi that the reason he brought their mission to that room is so he will have an opportunity to kill him. Fortunately, Hao and Bailu enter, and they stop Shi. Gao speaks to Shi, telling him that Lazi has passed the examination, and he's now part of their department. Upon returning from their last operation, Gao orders Bailu to take Sun and Lazi to another city. There has been a situation where people enter into a coma, and 2 have happened in their company, so they are to investigate. As they touch down in the city, they meet Yang Xiao, a police officer who is scheduled to drive them throughout the journey. While they are in Yang Xiao's car, Bailu gives Lazi a drug from Ouyang to heal his sickness, and he is to take 1 dosage per day. As he takes the first one, he gets very weak. They arrive at the hospital where they meet Director Lin, and he tells them about a sign that is on the body of everyone who has fallen into a coma like that. That night, Lazi comes outside, and Sun comes to meet him there. He confides to Sun that he doesn't think the drugs are working for him, and they receive a call from Bailu, who tells them Lin has fainted. They go to the hospital, and they coincidentally meet Yang Xiao. They assume he has come to visit them with food, but he says his wife is also in the same hospital. As he walks away, the nurse tells them that his wife had an accident and she lost her 8 months of pregnancy. She loses the will to live, and she starts committing suicide. Her last attempt pushes her into a coma, and she has been there for about 3 years. They decide they will ask Ouyang to heal her. Wu comes and removes the energy in Lin. He puts it in a kettle and creates a clone version of Sun and Lazi. He makes them look for energy, and he defeats it. They return to their original version and ask him to teach them magic. On the other hand, another set of people are seen on the rooftop. Bailu keeps investigating the people in coma. She touches the tattoo, and they see bugs coming out of it. They realize that the people that are there are given bug poison, which is the same way old Lin works. Meanwhile, at the rooftop, it turns out Yang Xiao is actually the leader of the Witch God Mountain. He meets with the members of his sect headed by Lu Yun, who tells him to release the Earth Pearl as he is no longer a good leader, and they can't risk him continuing to lead when he only wants to save his wife. They walk away, and he goes to the hospital to meet the team. They brief him about what's going on, and he says he wants to go re-deliver the briefs with Lazi. As he leaves, Bailu and Sun sneak to his wife's room to scan her to Ouyang. However, as they are there, they see a pearl from Guzi under the bed. They send it to Ouyang, who recognizes him as the leader of the sect, and tells them that the brief has been delivered, so Lazi is trapped. In the car, Lazi receives a call from Bailu to return home, but before he does so, Yang Xiao stops the car and confesses to poisoning Lin. He says he needs human energy to save his wife, and he will get it. Fortunately, Lazi escapes. As Lazi leaves, Lu Yun comes to meet Yang Xiao and tells him he has found the Earth Pearl. Lin wakes up and tells the others how he was attacked. They call Lazi, and they all meet at a cursed elevator that causes the death of 11 people. As they enter, several undead people attack them. They are unable to win, but Wu arrives. Yang Xiao is shown walking to the hospital. Lu Yun has informed him the pearl is with the Bureau gangs at the hospital, and he must find it. Yang Xiao returns to the hospital, and he thinks about the memory of his wife and the fun time he spent with her. He remembers how he asked the doctor to kill the child so they could save his wife and how he didn't know his wife would decide to die. He receives a call from Lu Yun, who tells him that if he doesn't bring the Earth Pearl, his wife will be kidnapped and killed. After Mu finishes at the elevator, they all return to the hospital, and they are shocked that Yang Xiao isn't there. They assume he is the one who bugged the people in the hospital, and they start looking for him. They chase him severely, and Mu eventually catches up with him. Mu realizes he is Old Lin's cousin who used the pills, and Mu wants to kill him, but he escapes with half of his power. Mu concludes that for a person to escape that keenly, he is undoubtedly the one who kept the bug. Yang Xiao meets with Lu Yun and gives him the pearl, but Lu Yun has killed his wife. He gets angry and says his greatest regret is saving Lu Yun from the trash, and starts fighting Lu Yun. At that point, they realize it's Lu Yun who kept the bugs, and soon begs Yang Xiao to leave Lu Yun, telling him that if Lu Yun dies, everyone affected by the bug will die. Yang Xiao refuses to hear, and Bailu also calls Sun to inform him that the people at the hospital behave irrationally. Mu arrives, and he puts a bug in Lu Yun's body, threatening him to remove the bug. Lu Yun does that, and Yang Xiao wakes up at the hospital later on thinking about his wife. Ouyang and Bailu speak about Lazi. Ouyang looks at Lazi's body and expresses that Lazi is stronger than he is. They reveal that the spirit of Old Lin entered into the body of Lazi during the fight in episode 1, and that's why she has refused that Lazi works with them. Ouyang says that the spirit can't be removed that easily, and nothing is to be done. Lazi goes out with his former captain, Captain Wang, to give a final respect to a colleague, and he remains. On the other hand, Bailu tells Sun that Room 6, which is under Wu, has employed a new worker for the first time in several years, and the worker is Yang Xiao. Sun drives Yang Xiao to their new mission, which is to recover a former member of the Bureau who is at a temple. Meanwhile, at the temple, they plan on how to hack the Bureau's system, and they raise up several undead for this purpose. Sun picks up Bailu and Lazi, and they all go to the temple to meet Taoist Xiao. They enjoin Xiao to return to the Bureau, but he refuses. At about the same time, they receive the message about the hack, and on their way returning home, they find out the temple has been set on fire, and several undead chase them. The undead people catch up with their car and attack them. They all decide to fight the undead, although they know they are on the losing side. Director Gao knows where the issue is from, but there is nothing they can do about it. Yang Xiao tells them that they should come together and fight. He changes into his mountain spirit form, and he fights the undead. He asks the others to keep fighting while he goes to the temple to meet Old Xiao. At the temple, Old Xiao tells Bailu to join her people in fighting. He says he should do it so she won't have to live with regrets like him. The entire temple is burning, and there is no hope of surviving. The orchestrator of the fire, Sanda, arrives. Old Xiao tells Sanda that he only has issues with him and not the investigators, so he should leave them, but Sanda says the investigators are powerful. When Lazi sees Sanda, he asks Bailu who he is, and she tells him he was part of the people who created the Bureau with Gao before he betrayed the team. Lazi goes to fight Sanda, but Sanda tells him he knows him. He says he has read about him, and Sanda becomes a monster. He tells Lazi that the Bureau will use him until he becomes a monster like him, so Lazi should join him. Old Xiao tries to beg Sanda to spare his life, but Sanda says he will only do it if they show him the location of Tianli's map. Sanda goes to a part of the temple where Xiao tells him the map is. Sanda enters to take Tianli, and Lazi follows him. Lazi goes there to fight him, and Yang Xiao attempts to enter with Sun. In the Tianli, Lazi tells Sanda that the Tianli belongs to the Bureau, but Sanda explains that he was the one who found the Tianli and gave it to the Bureau before Gao and the others removed him from the team. He says he is much interested in the energy of Lazi, and they start to fight. Sun arrives with Yang Xiao, and Sanda says they have come to die. The fight gets serious, and Lazi starts changing into a monster because of the energy inside of him. Sanda takes the powers of Tianli and becomes a huge demon. Lazi enters into power with him, and he attacks Lazi. He tells him the energy inside of him is attracting him, and he removes the energy. After he does that, Mu arrives, pushes Tianli, and gets Sanda out. He tells Sanda that he has only been looking at him because he has been looking for someone to remove the powers inside Lazi, as the power is affecting Lazi's internal organs, and Sanda arrived at the right time. He gets into a fight with Sanda and Tianli, and he wins. Sanda calls him a monster before dying. At the movie's end, Lazi walks, covering his head with a hoodie, and leaves the office. He goes to the part of the city near a statue, and he removes his hoodie, revealing his new white hair that looks like Mu's hair.